What is up, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. First off, what are we talking about? It's a packed show. We've got a lot to talk about. First thing that we're going to talk is something that kind of, I don't want to say rattled me, but I was kind of surprised by. Supposedly, Juventus may not be done in the Mercado. What does that mean? Is it just about selling? We'll stick with us. We'll talk about it here in a second. Anyway, we also have the Locatelli press conference. We've got Allegri. We've got a few other names and things to talk about. Stick with us, and we will fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Saturday, August 21st, 2021. And before we do anything, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing here? We know, we see you guys, we see our algorithm, we see the analytics and all that. Most of you all are not subscribed. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. Join the channel. You're checking in with us anyway. I don't know why you haven't subscribed already. Hit that subscribe button. Join the channel. Let us know who you are. Not who you are and why you haven't subscribed yet, but who you are and why you're a Juventus fan, where you come from, and where your passion comes from. We want to hear it. That's a big thing of what we want to do here on the channel. Anyway, let's go ahead and just jump in the news of what we have today. And the very first story revolves around Weston McKennie. And this is Tuttosport saying that Paratici is in for Weston McKennie. He's saying that Fabio Paratici has come forward for Weston McKennie. Fabio would like to bring Weston to Tottenham. Tchouameni has been offered a swap that involves Tanguy and Ndombele. And I apologize if I said that incorrectly. That was my best try. At the moment, it is an idea that Juve have some doubts about, but things could pick up next week. Again, you know, I'm not super high on anything that has to do with getting rid of Weston McKennie. I think Weston McKennie needs to stick with the club. Again, this is a channel that what I do is I give you my opinions on the news, not just give you the news, but I give you my opinions. Most of them you don't give a damn about, but I'm doing it anyway. So here we go, and I'm going to keep giving them. Again, Weston McKennie is not a guy I'm big on getting rid of, but let's look at the player from Tottenham. Let me say this instead of trying to accidentally butcher his name. I apologize. 24 years old, valued around 50 million euros. He has a contract until June 30th, 2025. He's a central midfielder. It's nothing about this player. It's just at this time when we're talking about Weston McKennie, about him going out of the club, I'm just not super high on the idea. It depends what kind of deal they're trying to work out there, too. If you're trying to throw him, he has a higher market value than Weston has right now. So I'm interested to see what that means, what kind of negotiating they'd be trying to do. And I don't think Juventus needs to spend any extra money right now when you have Weston McKennie, who I think is solid. Let me know your thoughts about the player down below. Again, American, hope he stays. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, what else do we have for you going on today? The next story is about Tchouameni. And yes, I finally got Tchouameni right. I'm going to stick with it. And if it's wrong, if you say it's wrong, it is what it is. Tuttosport is saying that Tchouameni was the first alternative to Locatelli. While today he's a real idea, some contacts have been made. And even if Monaco won't let him go at a discount, they will have to reckon with the outcome of the UCL preliminary round against Shakhtar. So we'll see what happens here going forward with Tchouameni. And then we have another part about Tchouameni. Just looking at his background, we've talked about him. We'll see. My main thing, though, is this. Is like, if Juventus is really interested in the player, market value about 30 million euros. And I understand right now, maybe things change because you're not having to spend a dime on Locatelli. But we've been spouting all this rhetoric when it comes to Juventus doesn't have money. The pandemic, affected the situation as it stands. And if they go out and get another guy, I'd be scratching my head a little bit about what was really going on there. Were they playing their cards a little too close? Maybe we have been, I don't want to say bamboozled. You know what I mean? Maybe misled a little bit and they're actually okay. Or is it mainly just focused on the fact that overall Locatelli didn't have to pay a dime for right now? We'll see how it works out and how it plays out. If you could add another player like that, I know a lot of people are high on Tchouameni. It would definitely do a boost for the midfield going forward. We'll see what happens. Just keep an eye on that going forward. And then yesterday, let me catch my breath real quick. There we go. We've had Locatelli gave his thoughts and some comments in a press conference yesterday, talking about him. Basically just letting everybody know. I've been Juventino since I was a little kid, since I was born. It's in the family. It's in the DNA. I talked about this before with a lot of people where I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure he's a Juve fan. Like, I think if your family and your brother and your dad or whatever, or your mom are Juve fans, you're probably going to be a Juve fan too. Yes, maybe as a professional. Again, I grew up here in America. I have friends that played, college sports, whatever have you, and then maybe when they do play college sports, or you grew up loving one team. You grew up loving whatever. Say your local team is, here in Kentucky, Louisville or Kentucky. Say I'm a Louisville fan. They were to take me for some reason, or they wouldn't recruit me, but Kentucky does. That allegiance seems to switch, at least down below, but maybe you're always dreaming of getting back to the other one, and you're going to say that you like the other team, whatever have you. So the whole Milan stuff, it is what it is. Let me actually just read what he said, besides me just talking over the entire time. All right, Locatelli said, it's always been my dream since I was a child. We are a Juventus family, and I'm a Juventino ever since I was born. And then going off of that, let me keep going. He's got a few statements, which I basically already commented on it before this, so no need for me to go back and reiterate what I just said. But he also said, Locatelli to Juventus TV said, Scudetto favorites? I don't know, but we definitely want to win. That's the mentality we have here at Juventus. Kid's a winner. Kid has his eyes set on the prize. Good, like what I see. I'm excited to see what he brings. I cannot wait to hopefully see him in the Udinese match. At least get a little bit of playing time just to see what he can bring to the table right away. Because we know it's a lot. We've seen him, play for the Italian national team. He's already developed there, so I like to see what he can bring at Juventus. And then we have another comment from Locatelli to Juventus TV saying, Juve is full of champions. When I was at Sassuolo, I looked at Ronaldo, and now I find him in the locker room. I watched him on YouTube, and now I'm here. It's a pleasure to be here with them. And that's such a it's such a wild, you get to realize, you see all these players, and you think, they're professionals. They play in Serie A. They play against them. It's no big deal. But it is a big deal. A lot of these guys are just like kids that grew up idolizing these different players, and then you go to Juventus or you go wherever. But when it comes to Serie A, you go to Juventus now because it's the team that still has a superstar. And Ronaldo, he is a superstar. And he goes in there and you sit down. I remember Weston McKennie was this way last year, where he was like, I remember playing him on FIFA. And now I sit down in the room next to him, and there he is, training with us. It's got to be a wild experience, regardless of how you feel about Ronaldo in that situation. It's pretty cool to see, players kind of talk about that and accept that. And then let's move on. Allegri had some words for us. Talking to Juve TV as well, Max Allegri said that tomorrow is the first game of the season. And as I've often said, the first game was always very difficult. We're up against a physically strong team, one that was second or third in the league last year in terms of chances conceded. So, a little bit of coach speak there. It is what it is. You're going to say Udinese of last year was definitely better than the Udinese of a couple years ago. They did lose Rodrigo De Paul. We'll see what happens. We'll see how good they are going forward. I want to be open to see, there's sometimes teams can surprise you here and there. So I'm not going to say anything too, not going to say he's completely overreaching when he's saying, but as we know, Ronaldo tends to score against Udinese. He's been very successful. Hopefully that will continue as well. Max Allegri also went on to say that usually the favorite is whoever wins the championship, as in who won it last year. We are among the 6 or 7 teams who can win it, but we're taking it one step at a time. Let's try to win the first one, which would already be good to continue working. Definitely, that's got to be the goal. The goal, and I've talked about it, I know a lot of people in our live streams or whatever have you, have brought up that, what about UCL this year? What about UCL? And at this point, guys, it's just you can't be focused on the UCL right now just because of where we've been. We saw what we saw last year from the club. Right now, you just got to get back to winning the Scudetto. That's the first step in developing a squad to go and challenge for a UCL. Yes, you can still hopefully, like I said, it's always possible. It's always possible that you can make a run, some miraculous run into, whatever have you. But to me, when you're in Serie A, you have to go and win that Scudetto first. That has to be the target before you can dream even a little bit bigger. Next part was Allegri was talking about, he said, this is continued on, so I'm not going to source it every single time. I'm just going to say it because the source is all the same. The management will think about the Mercado. I told them I'm happy with the squad. We have many young players, and others have grown a lot. So this is interesting to me because I was surprised, like I said, that there seems to be a little bit of resurgence now. Now that we got Locatelli, I thought it was shut it down. The Mercado's done. Now it's like, let's put some feelers out there. Let's see what we can get. Again, is that affected by Ramsey needing to be sold or what have you? The Pjanic situation. Pjanic still lingers out there. What will happen with him? Where will he go? We'll see going forward, but that's how it stands right now. Do you all believe that Juventus will add another player? I feel like it's done, but I might be wrong here because there seems to be, it's a quick resurgence today, but who knows what comes tomorrow, All right. Next up, we have him talking about Dybala. Said, you can put Dybala's technical ability up to discussion. This year, he presented himself mentally and on a much better level, and he is showing that. So he's definitely putting faith in Dybala going forward. As long as he can stay healthy, I'm excited to see what he does, and I am a big Dybala fan. I believe he can be a big cornerstone for the club going forward, especially for this season to build upon. Because we all know, in general, that he was the guy who Allegri wanted to be the star more than, Ronaldo, honestly. And then we've got him. He also talked about Bernardeschi, saying Bernardeschi is a good player, an excellent player, like all of us. I want him to be an excellent player. I guess he is an excellent player compared to, if you throw me out there on the field, I'm going to get worked every time, obviously. But I'm just saying, compared to his competition, is he an excellent player? Whatever. All right. Anyway, he's an excellent player, like all of us. It depends on the head we have and will to work. That goes for him and everyone. So he's just saying, he's putting his belief in Bernardeschi. I think Bernardeschi is rumored to start for the Udinese match in the midfield there. We'll see if he can continue on what he did with that score against Atalanta. Maybe he can get a couple shots on goal, and hopefully maybe he can. If he scores tomorrow, then I'll start believing a little bit more. We'll see. I tell myself, and I had to stick with it, that I can't believe in what I see from a preseason match. I have to see what happens in the season when it matters most, when everybody's playing their hardest. And he talks about Aaron Ramsey, saying Ramsey is improving in front of the defense. He's grown a lot since the first games. Sometimes he gets too carried away towards the action. He needs to run a bit less. I'm not here to break down Aaron Ramsey at this point. I'm moving on mentally, emotionally, whatever have you. Not that I was really that invested in Aaron Ramsey, but I'm moving on from breaking down Aaron Ramsey. If he becomes, if he is staying and he becomes a serious part of the season, and I noticed that after, 4 or 5 games in, he's playing a lot, then I'll start getting back into it. But right now, I'm not here for Aaron Ramsey talk. I'll be honest, guys. Let me know if you agree with me, if you're annoyed by me not wanting to really get into his pace of play and stuff like that. It's just, I'm not here for it. I'm more here to talk about Bernardeschi than I am about Aaron Ramsey at this point. And then he also said that to play football, you need technique, balance, and mentality. If we don't find the right balance and quickly we're on a roller coaster, you can't compete for the championship. Which to me, I think is very much him talking about what you experienced last year, what you experienced with the club. Last year, you started off on a high on that roller coaster win up. You beat Sampdoria 3-0. Who I believe the season before there were some closer matches against Sampdoria. So I remember I was wearing this shirt right here. This shirt's about to get retired is the point. One reason I'm wearing it today, it's about to get retired for the new one, which now we can buy Locatelli and all that. Anyway, don't need to get on to that. Anyway, what I'm saying is we went on a roller coaster. We went up, and then I want to say I can't remember the exact matches in a row, but 3 or 4 of the next 5, Juventus dropped points in. I know Roma was one. That one sticks out to me a lot. Roma was one. There was another one. Anyway, Udinese actually might have been one, I want to say. I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize, guys. I'm terrible at that. But they dropped points out of 3 or 4 of the 5 where they ended up just getting 1 point every single match before a draw. And that really set them back for the whole course of the season going forward. So I'm interested to see if they can get off on the right foot, start piling up those W's, getting 3 points there, 3 points there, 3 points there, and actually building a decent lead or building a decent remaining at the top of the top of the league when it comes to that and having the most points instead of having to come back from 10 down early on. That's something that you really can't afford to get started doing. And I think Max Allegri will have the guys ready for this going forward. He's definitely nothing against Andrea Pirlo. If you know me, I love Andrea Pirlo. He just wasn't ready for this. It wasn't really fair to put him in this position. He really should have started with the U23. He shouldn't have started this way. They probably should have gone with Max Allegri last year. Anyway, don't need to get on that topic anyway. Also, I want to say I apologize, guys, for not having a live stream yesterday. I'll be honest. The last 2 weeks, I've been doing a lot with work, with my day job, as well as with this job. So it's been it's been a little tiring, to be honest. Anyway, that is all the news that we really have for you today. We'll have more to talk about, of course, tomorrow. We'll see what we do. Keep your eyes peeled if we have any post-game stuff or anything like that. I'm sure we will. We're going to figure that one out because Julian is getting married today, so we're going to let him have some time to enjoy it, have his time with his wife, his new bride, and then we'll fully get into everything. But you'll have me here, of course. Anyway, make sure you tune in tomorrow for all the latest things regarding all things Juventus. Tomorrow is the start of the season. The Serie A starts today, but for Juventus, it starts tomorrow. Get excited, guys. Can't wait to jump into it with you guys and to actually do this roller coaster that is the Serie A season starting tomorrow. Can't wait. Let's do it. Anyway, make sure you check back in tomorrow for the latest videos of all things Juventus, as well as make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Follow Bianconerizone at Bianconerizone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at JustinSofro on Twitter. Also follow Julian Genotti at Genotti151 on Twitter as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.